investors have a far too great an importance on the direction and flows of our markets. Well, it's important that pension and insurance and mutual funds become an important institutional counterpoint to foreign funds. Since pension funds invest for the long term and are not worried about short-term price fluctuation, investment must become a part of mandatory retirement savings in equity markets, which will also in turn make these markets more resilient. Development of insurance and pension is important not just for the benefits it will provide to savers, but also on the impact it will have on the development of our equity and bond markets. In turn, this will lower the cost of capital for Indian companies, improve productivity or healthcare. As more people benefit from access to this infrastructure, their opportunities will improve, and as they make use of these opportunities, their financial condition will get better. When we see a village, Ajay, that is not connected with the rest of the country with a road, it is easy to see the benefits that will come to the villagers once the road gets built. The road opens up new opportunities and brings with it many new economic activities that impact the life of the villagers. Creating access to financial services has a very similar impact in the broadest sense. Financial inclusion comprises the ability to save money and earn a return above inflation, the ability to get credit when needed, the ability to protect oneself from the risks faced in the course of earning one's livelihood. When we look at financial inclusion in this way, we can see that there are large gaps that need to be filled, despite the progress that has been made in the past few years. Investment and insurance products are still available only to a small fraction of the population. Since the opening of the insurance industry to the private sector, we've seen tremendous growth in this sector. Insurance companies have done a great job in communicating why people should save for their retirement and get themselves enough insurance cover. However, as in other financial services, coverage remains limited to a small section of the population, and it is not clear whether current products are sufficient to reach people who are currently not reached by organized financial services. In contrast, little has changed in the area of pension and provident funds. I think the biggest challenge today we face is in the area of pension and provident funds. The main retirement saving institution in India is the EPFO, but EPFO has barely 5 crore account holders working in the organized sector. The new pension scheme started in 2008 has made a small beginning in reaching out to a larger audience, but adoption so far has been highly muted. Growth of any sector is closely linked, and this I think is really key. Growth of any sector is closely linked to the commercial incentives of firms working in that sector, and we need to find an appropriate incentive structure for those who provide these services while protecting the interests of people whose money is being invested. We will need significant evolution of products as well as institutions in order to accelerate growth in the pension sector. The mainstream financial intermediaries, mutual funds, insurance companies, and pension funds currently have high transaction costs, especially when it comes to servicing customers below a certain minimum size. Some of these institutions are now experimenting with micro versions of their current product offerings with some success. Our experience with self-help groups suggests that some of the benefits will come from tiered structures where local community-based organizations will serve their communities and will in turn have accounts with larger, more conventional institutions. These in turn will use the capital markets to hedge and trade the risks on their balance sheets. No retail financial product can be successful without good regulation. External supervision is required to ensure that we don't offer inappropriate products to those who are most vulnerable in terms of their ability to understand their needs and their ability to protect themselves from frauds. Both areas need